All right, hello everybody. My name is Bulos Abdallah. I am joined here by my colleagues Mary Gallagher and Kim Loring. We are going to be talking about transferring credits into RPI. Kim and I are both advisors in the School of Engineering Hub, and Mary is our referee to make sure that we are saying all the right information here. Um, if anybody has any questions that is watching this recording, feel free to email us at soehub@rpi.edu. All that information will be left at the last slide of this presentation. So getting started, here are some of the things that you can expect for us to discuss and go over. We're going to talk about your transfer course requirements. We're going to talk a little bit about the transfer course process and how all of that works. We will go over what our recommendations are as advisors for all of you. We'll go over the transfer credit timeline versus any of the deadlines of when you need to get these credits transferred in by. We'll, of course, go over the fall registration process. And then, as I promised earlier, we'll also go over any sort of questions. We'll share all of our contact information, and we can move ahead from there. So just some general credit, transfer credit information, some of your requirements. I typically don't like to read directly from the slide, but I think all of this information here is very important. So I'll kind of go over it real quick. But all students coming in as a first year, starting for the fall 2024 semester, that's next semester, you can all transfer a maximum of 32 credits, and that includes any AP, IB, or anything that's equivalent towards your degree. Keep in mind that only 8 credits of the Haas core curriculum and 8 credits of the math science core requirements can be brought into Rensselaer through transfer credits or through AP exams. Students who have AP or who have their IB may be granted credit for their mathematics and science courses depending on their scores. So you just make sure you let us know, because everybody's case is a little bit different. So you just got to make sure you communicate that information out to us. No grade is going to be given for transfer credit, and the grades are not included in calculating for your quality point average. Transfer credit will be forfeited if a student takes an equivalent Rensselaer course. So for example, if you brought in Physics 1 as an AP credit, but you felt like you needed to retake the course, maybe as a warm-up, maybe as a GPA booster, totally fine. If you were to take that course, the transfer credit basically just takes a seat on the bench and you're not going to be able to use that. So effective a couple of falls ago, effective fall 2022, all incoming students are required to submit their request for college credit from courses taken while in high school, so AP or IP credit, by the end of the first year. We'll kind of go over it in a slide in the future here, but don't wait until till the end. Don't wait till the end of your first year. Get all of those credits in now. Let them get processed now. That way we know exactly what we have to work with, rather than having to wait till the last minute when no one is thinking about transfer credits. And of course, if you have any questions or needed to refer to any of that information, you can always go to the registrar's website found on that link at the bottom there. So what's going to transfer and how do you transfer your credit to RPI? So we do have all of this information here on our website. You can also find this information on our registrar's website. The link is at the bottom here below. If in case if you're finding it a little bit harder to read here. But so let's go over AP scores real quick. A score of a 4 or 5 will generally be accepted for your humanities, arts, and social science courses. If you haven't noticed already, we love our acronyms at RPI. I'm sure I'm not the first person to crack that joke if you've been to many webinars already, but we refer humanities, arts, social sciences as HOS here. So, going further, when I say Haas, that's what I mean right there. For science, engineering, and management courses, they also generally require a 4 or a 5. All scores and the course equivalents are on the registrar's website, which you'll find at the link below. Um, and any requested scores can be found on the College Board website, which should be pretty standard at this point now too. Also link here in the bottom right. And then it's different for IB, right? So for Haas classes, you're gonna need a score of a 6 or a 7. Same thing for your science and engineering and your management courses. You'll also need a 6 or a 7 for those classes to get transferred in. All scores and their equivalents are found on the registrar's website, and then you can request the scores through the IB website. The link is a little bit longer here, but you should already have this link handy. But if not, you can find this link on this website or on a slide right here. So for Cambridge A-level exam courses, uh, it's a little bit different as well. We don't use scores of a 4 or 5 or a 6 or 7. In this case here, you're going to need to receive a grade of an A or a B on eligible exams for transfer. All grade requirements are going to be on the registrar's website as well. So you can please refer to that if you have any additional questions or if you were a little bit confused on the policy. But most of the information is on this slide right here. But like I said, like you can find it on the website. To order an official transcript, you're just gonna have to go to the Cambridge International website to be sent to RPI's registrar's office. And you're not gonna wanna wait on this either. So processes can take several weeks here. So just make sure you get on this ASAP in case if you haven't already gotten on there. Am I missing anything? Or have I mentioned everything here?
No, you've been mentioning everything proper. If you haven't gotten the main idea behind this, everyone, is go to the registrar's office when in doubt because they're the ones that have everything written out for you. So, um,
Cool.
it's going good.
And then for dual enrollment transfer eligibility, so dual enrollment is a little bit different than your AP classes. So if you take college level courses during high school through dual enrollment, it could be reviewed for transfer credit eligibility if the courses were not used towards your high school graduation requirements. Um, if you received a grade letter of a C minus or better, then you are eligible to transfer that class in. And then finally, you must complete the dual enrollment credit, the high school certification form and procedure. And then you must submit that form and the official transcript from or from the institution or university courses to RPI's registrar's office. And if you're a little confused with how the registrar's website might look, Control F is my favorite combination on a keyboard. Just type in forms and you'll be able to find the registrar forms right there. The incoming freshman transfer credit procedure slash high school certification form. I know it's such a big title there for a form, but after you click on the registrar forms link, you'll see it not too far from the top there, as you can see on that arrow on that last slide there. Cool. All right. So steps needed to complete the transferring dual enrollment credit. So everything you can fill it out digitally. You are going to need a signature from your high school confirming that everything that you filled out was good to go. So step one, send the form to the guidance counselor's office of your high school. They must submit it, not you. They must submit it to the registrar office at RPI, and the email address can be found here in step one, transfercredit@rpi.edu. That email is checked really regularly. I'm speaking from experience, but also Mary does a really good job at keeping up to date with that email address. So thanks, Mary, for all the emails I send you all the time. So step two, order an official transcript from the college to be sent to the registrar, same email, transfercredit@rpi.edu, and then it'll get processed there by Mary and her team. Step three, so designated departments will review these documents and they'll determine the credit transfer. And any additional course information or syllabus might also be needed. So just be prepared in case if someone on Mary's team or Mary gets back to you looking for that information. And then finally, step four, the registrar's office will notify you via your RPI email with an evaluation of applicable credit. Really quick note about the RPI email, make sure you're checking it often if you can. And if you have any questions on how to keep it organized, you can always run it by your first year experience deans, or you can also let us know too, and we can kind of spend some time, a couple minutes talking about how you can organize your email. But yeah, that form is all on the registrar website. You can find all of those forms there. And we also linked it again on this slide here for you too. Transfer credit eligibility. So these are not affiliated with the dual enrollments. The minimum equivalent grade is also a C minus here, or greater, that will be accepted. These must be complete, or sorry, this must be complete the transfer credit approval form for credit review. So your official transcript is going to be needed for the approved transfer. And then more importantly, all courses need to be approved by the relevant Rensselaer academic school in advance of registering for the course. So if you're not really sure exactly what this means, that's okay. It's still a little early in the ball game to really understand like what this means. Basically, what this means is if you wanted to take a course at a different school next summer, so you already completed your first year, you want to take a class or two next summer, this is what this is talking about here. So for example, let's say you wanted to take physics 2 at Hudson Valley Community College, which is right down the street from you. You're going to need to get that approved by the School of Science here at RPI. If you want to take an engineering class at Hudson Valley, you got to get it approved by the School of Engineering here, and so on and so forth with all the other classes. So all courses must meet minimum contact hours to transfer, which is at least 15 instructional hours per credit. So a 3 credit course must meet a minimum of 45 hours. I mean, if you're meeting 2 or 3 hours per class twice a week for 8 weeks, I can't do the math that quick, but you're probably going to be okay in that case. So just some things that, we look at behind the scenes here, what Mary's team does behind the scenes. Exceptions can be made on a case-by-case basis. You just had to communicate that with us, your advisor. But the request should be submitted to the associate dean. Again, us as your advisor will help you with that process if we need to cross that bridge when we get there.
Bulos, I'm going to add one more thing.
Please.
So also, if you decide you want to take summer classes after you already graduate from high school, so obviously dual enrollment is no longer there to complete out high school degree requirements. You can take a summer course like this summer if you wanted and go through this process. But again, like Bulos was stating, you want to get it approved prior to you actually taking it because we don't want you wasting your time, your money. If you can enjoy your time before coming here, we want you to. But yeah, that's it.
And again, it's still really early in the process. We're still a full year away from anybody that should be thinking about doing stuff like this. But just store this knowledge in the back of your minds. If it's something that is something that you're interested in, we can definitely get that working for you. Just make sure you communicate that with your advisor.
Here, we have a computational lab that you could take if you prefer that. Or you could do.
So this is the form if you were to do something like that, taking courses over the summer. It looks super complicated. It really is not. You just have to fill out the top part check off those boxes. Most of you is going to be a no anyway. And then just make sure you have the pertinent information in those boxes below, describing exactly what the course is and what the equivalent course for RPI is. So what's the process here? Step one, determine which course you would like to take and compare it to the RPI course. You can use the transfer course guide for guidance only. So if you were to use the transfer course guide, it's going to have historical data. It's going to have information of classes that were approved in the past. You still need to get it approved for yourself. Just because it says it's already been approved in the past doesn't mean it's going to get approved for you. So just make sure you're communicating and looping all the people in that need to be looped in. The presence of a course in the transfer course guide, yeah, I just mentioned that. Step number 2, complete the transfer credit form and email it to registrar at transfercredit@rpi.edu to have the courses reviewed for possible approval. Again, the registrar might ask for more information. In this case, it might be a syllabus or a course description. The syllabus might be a little bit trickier to find. You might have to reach out to the professor of that school, and sometimes that can get a little messy just because the professor doesn't know, who you are or anything like that. You can easily pull up a course description from their course catalog. Just make sure it's the most up-to-date or the most recent version. The 2024, 2025 version is going to be the one that you're going to want to find. You're not going to want to use a version from like the early 90s or something like that when you Google something. So just make sure you're always using the most up-to-date course description for each class. And step 3, upon approval, order an official transcript from the college to be sent to RPI's registrar office once the course is complete at the end of the summer. And again, like I'll repeat it, this is really advanced level stuff. It's, we're not even, we're more than a year from this process from happening, but just something for you to store in the back of your mind. We can't transfer that class in unless if the transcript is sent to RPI's registrar. And once again, just a reminder, a C- or greater will transfer in. So yeah, so just keep that information handy and then just let us know if you have any questions or if this is something that you plan on doing at least sometime, let us know at least sometime in your first year. So that way we can get this prepared for you. Yeah, so transfer credit process. So everything I just said, super dry, super boring to listen to. I totally get that. But visually, this is what it looks like. So for AP credits, got to have a 4 or a 5. List of all the exams are on the registrar's office website. You can request the scores and then have the scores sent to RPI. IB credit, same thing, 6 or a 7, request the scores on the IB's website, send the scores to RPI. Cambridge A, same thing. Did you earn an A or a B? The list of the exams are on RPI transfer course guide. Request the transcript to be sent to RPI, and then the process will take care of itself from there. Thanks to Mary and her team.
Which is separate from RPI, but it's
dual enrollment credits. If you remember, the dual enrollment credits are the classes you took while you were in high school, but you were taking them out of college. So if you pass that course with a grade of a C- or a better, fine print here, in order for the course to transfer in, it cannot count towards your overall high school graduation credit. So basically exactly what I just said, then it'll be good to go. Complete the incoming freshman transfer credit procedure / high school certification form for the dual enrollment credits to go through. Request the transcript, send it to RPI, and those will get transferred.
We're actually hosting
the transfer summer credit, kind of what I was saying earlier, like it's super advanced stuff, like we're still a year away from it. But if that's something that you want to do, you want to take a class at a different college next summer, in the summer of 2025, then fill out that form, the transfer credit approval form, pass the course with a C- or greater, request a transcript from that school to be sent to RPI, and then you are good to go after that.
much it. So we help you through the process. And we usually start talking about it in the spring.
So when should I have my credit transferred in by? If you remember, a few minutes ago, earlier in the presentation, I had said, don't wait, send in your transfer credits now. Send in all of your credits now. Don't wait till the end of the year. Do that, follow that. And the reason why is there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts to all of your curriculums in the School of Engineering. It's a lot easier to know exactly what we're all dealing with to get you set up for your 4-year plan. Maybe it's less than a 4-year plan. Who knows? But we're not going to know that if you don't transfer in all of your credits. And like I said earlier too, if you wait until May to transfer in these credits, no one's really thinking about these credits. So there's a chance that they might fall through the cracks. And I'm not saying that that's something that happens regularly. It's just no one's really thinking about it at that point of the year. So just get them in now. Everybody's thinking about it. Everyone's processing it. Don't have to worry about it later on in the year. Get it in. Don't have to worry about it. No stress. Boom, we're good.
And you can message me if we end this conversation and questions come.
So where can you see your transfer credit? If you haven't logged into SIS yet or SIS, do so, please. Because a lot of the stuff that we do as advisors, a lot of stuff that you do as students, all comes through SIS. So log into SIS, click on student menu. Under the curriculum information category, there's going to be a view transcript option. So click on that and any of your process credit will be reflected on your transcript. I don't think that is available right now, but Mary or Kim, correct me if I'm wrong. You might have to wait another week or so, maybe closer to July 10th for us to see that information. But this is exactly where you can find your transcript. Also, by the way, just a side note, if you view your transcript, you can take a screenshot of it, you can print it and save it as a PDF, and it becomes an unofficial transcript. So that's where you can always find your unofficial transcript. If you need an official transcript, you'd have to order it from SIS, or actually the next option right there, request a transcript. You can order it right there, or you can go right to the registrar, and their website will direct you on how you can do that.
Louis, I have something to add.
Please, go for it.
So for the transcript to check it, you're right, there is a delay. And Mary probably has more insight on the actual date, but I believe a lot of AP scores aren't even available until like right around registration. So in the case of even if you get your score and then you request it right away to be sent over to RPI, there is a delay for sending, and then also it has to be processed. So it might be a few weeks. But yeah, if you do have questions, you can definitely email Mary over at transfercredit@rpi.edu and she can follow up with you. Mary, did you want to add anything about that process?
So there is, I'm not sure how College Board processes it. I have processed transfer or AP credit for students already coming in for the fall. But it's not necessarily everybody. They do send a bulk file at the beginning / middle of July. And that is when I received everyone's. But if you were able to, I believe, request your College Board scores separately, like through their website, that comes in as they process them. But if you had requested the AP scores to be sent through your high school, after, before you're taking the exam and they asked you where you wanted the score sent to, those are the scores that I'll receive in July. So there's a little bit of there's 2 options for how we receive your scores, but we process them all as they come in.
Thanks, Mary. So I'll take it from here, Blue. So if anyone has any questions regarding any of this or just general School of Engineering questions, we do have a website. We do have a specific button just for the class of 2028 that will take you to all the resources that we just spoke to. You can always just look up RPI registrar and you will find the same information. And then also be sure to follow us on Instagram. Bulos and Kelly, our other advisor, really do a great job on our social media. So please check that out. Like I said, go to the website if you haven't already. Save that on your favorites tab. And then all our recordings will be housed on our YouTube channel. We will link it through our website though. So that's the end of our presentation. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the box, the chat box, and we will be answering them.